Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Mar back at it again with another video. And today is April 10th, Friday, April 10th. I'm about to go over the trades that I took this week as the market has finally closed. It's now 5 p.m. and I decided I wanted to do this early before Sunday. I'm about to go over the trades. I only traded one pair this week. I wanted to lock in with one pair because in the past AUR USD has been kicking my butt. So I want to lock in with GU instead this week, and I'm gonna show y'all my setups and what happened this week. So let's start off with the beginning of the week. We didn't take any trades at all. As you see, price had a very strong bullish move. All right. We made this big move up here. And if you remember last week, I was talking about how I was in a trade down here on the second, and you see if I would have stayed in this over the weekend and over time, I would have caught a nice move here. Would have caught about 150 pips to this target, and if I would have held a runner while trailing, I would have caught about almost 300 pips, man. But we didn't catch that, and that's fine because the market always has setups. The market always has opportunities. I'm here for securing profit, and I'm not here for home runs every single time. So I'm gonna take what I can, and I'm gonna keep it moving. So that was last week, but like I said, price came from down here last week. We ended Friday over here, and Sunday we pushed up a bit, broke some structure up here. We broke some structure right here. Oh my gosh, my stuff is not clicking. We broke some structure up here, right? Price came from this low, created this high. From this low, created this high, created a higher low, created a higher high, another higher low, and then pushed up crazy, creating a very high high. So looking at this after, what was it, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday? I think I traded on Wednesday. No, I didn't trade on. I traded on Thursday and today, which is, well, no, I traded on Wednesday, Thursday, and I held my trade overnight till today, which is the 10th. So yeah, after this Tuesday push, I wasn't able to get in it at all. It just lower time frames, higher time frames. It was just huge momentum, and I didn't know how to catch this move, and I wasn't about to chase it either. So looking at the week, I wanted to see price pull back to here because the 4 hour has a lot of gaps leading this move. So we have gaps that's here. We have a gap here, and this whole thing is just a huge gap on higher time frames, daily, weekly, whatever. Um, so I wanted a retracement then buy, but I since I knew we had a big move, I knew price was gonna kind of play around in a range a little bit. So I went down to a lower time frame. I went to the 15-minute time frame and the 30-minute time frame. I was playing in these two time frames here. And I saw on Wednesday how price was coming up, made a high, it made a low. So I'm gonna just draw from here. So right here, it made a high, it made a low, it made a higher high, it made a higher low, it made a higher high. Right? So when I seen this, my thought process was, okay, if we get a pullback, we might come out and take this high since we're very, very strong right now. Like this is strong candles. This huge gap, I don't see price coming back. I didn't see price coming back to it right now at this moment because if you look at the 4 hour as well, we're at equal highs. So I wanted to see this actually be taken out. Not just liquidated, but actually taken out. And I'm saying taken out completely. Like I want to be closed above because we have this here. There's a supply zone right here. And if you look, we have one tap, two tap. I'm gonna just spread this out. All right, so we have one tap, two tap. This failed to come. Almost a three tap, fourth tap, and I was looking for this for price to just continue to go up and tap into that supply zone. So let's go back to the actual trade. So let me pull up. Yep, here we go. My trades here. This might look a little. Let's hide some stuff real quick. So I'm gonna tell you. I'll give you a peek into my mind. So on the 30-minute, I was looking at this. So we create a low, high, a higher low and a higher high, right? So I seen this breaker structure and I immediately pulled out the fib. Okay, cool. We got a breaker structure here. All right, it respected the 64. I mean the 64, the 61, then went up and closed above, right? So then the same thing, I'm like, all right, cool. We got another breaker structure. Let's see if we can get a pullback into this area. The 61 aligned with my order block. My order block, my demand zone, same thing, same thing. If I say one or the other, just know I mean demand zone. And if I say order block, it's either demand or supply. If I'm talking about buys, it's demand. If I'm talking about sales, it's supply. But my zone where I wanted to enter, where I saw a price gravitating towards, I entered here. Price had this gap here after the break of structure. I was looking to hold this low to make hopefully that price didn't go below this low. But as you see, I entered on this candle here on a lower time on, I think it was once it got here. Honestly, I don't even think I went to a lower time frame. Yeah, it was once it closed here on this new candle that opened up that was blue. That's when I entered. So this right here, I was at the bottom of this candle, the opening. So price, I was in profit for a little bit, and then I thought we was gonna get a little bit of drawdown and then go back up. But as you see, price completely took me out. And the reason why I thought this was so safe was because if you look at this low to high, price broke structure, it came down and failed, right? Came back up, and this candle here took out this low and took out this low, wicking below it. So in my eyes, I thought that was like my liquidity sweep that I was looking for. It looked good. It looked real good. Nice little liquidity sweep. But the problem was we also had here, right? So when this came down and took me out, I was like, okay, I know that we do have this opening area as well. So what did I do? I entered again, and that was my second entry here. Let's take this, hide this, my fault. So when price got here, I ended up entering here. But unfortunately, again, when I entered in this area, price just wasn't ready to go back up. So I ended up getting taken out. So I had 2 losses this week. 2 losses in one day, and didn't beat myself up. I only risk about 1% on both trades. So I didn't really lose much. And I was like, okay, cool. That's fine. Let's go. Let's wait. Let's wait till the next day, which what I did. Boom. And we have this. So I analyzed throughout the night, right? So Wednesday happened. We ended up in this area right here, which is a 1 hour demand zone, which is this one, right? So if you're looking at this, let me take this away real quick. When I was looking at this, I was like, okay, price did break below it, but it came back in and broke above it. And then we started consolidating. When I saw this consolidation, I was looking for either a break above or break below. And as you see, I'm going to pull up my stuff again. We got exactly what we needed, where price, let's go down to the lower time frame. It's easier to see. Price, oh my goodness, I got mad squares. Hold on. Let me clean this up a bit because I just have my stuff saved. So I just unhide and hide it so it's easier for y'all to see. Okay. So yeah, so we get the breaker structure, we get a pullback and another breaker structure. When I seen this second breaker structure, because this is the breaker structure of the consolidation, we broke that. And when I seen the second one, I was like, okay, cool. This is where I want to enter. And I put a order here, right in this spot here, right? But for some reason, when price came right here, my order never went through on my broker. And I was a little upset and disappointed because I'm like, yo, like, how didn't it go through? It went past where my order was, but it never tagged me in. So I stayed on the charts and I was analyzing the whole time. I was getting a haircut as well at this time. And I saw this candle, right? This candle right here. So price came down. It made this blue candle that was bullish. And then it came down again and it was a bearish candle because it opened right here. Once we started passing this, I was like, all right, I missed my first entry, But once we started passing here, I entered with my stop loss at this low here. And my target was exactly what you see right here, was this supply zone from a higher time frame, and just the supply zone that you see right here on the 15-minute. Because on an hour, you don't see no supply zone. And on the 30-minute, I believe you see it as well. But my target was here because I see that we already was starting to go bearish. If you look, I got to break a structure right here from this low to this high. We got to break a structure. So I was like, okay, if it is going to reverse, this is where it will reverse. And as you see what happened today, this is where it will reverse. So I took my entry and I held it. So this was my first entry. And once we broke this structure here, I pulled out my fib and I was like, okay, we got to break a structure. And clearly we're getting a pullback. Where can this pull back to? Am I safe in this, or do I need to take profit? So we got up to here. I put the fib up and I started to see the pullback. When I started to see the pullback, I saw that, the bearish candles was very weak. Like, we do have some big ones here. And then we got some good bullish candles, and then we got some bearish candles, but everything, it was getting real choppy and real small. So what I did was, after this fib, I said, okay, I'm confident in this trade. We got a breaker structure, another breaker structure, right? We tapped in to liquidity sweeping down here. We broke structure and we're tapped into demand zones. So what am I going to do? I'm going to hold this trade with my stop loss here, below here, and I'm going to fib this. I'll bring my stops up to here, and I'm going to re-enter another position. I'm going to re-enter another position at the 61. And that's exactly what I did. Re-entered right here to 61. So I had my original one, brought the stops up, re-entered at 61, put my stops here, went to sleep, woke up, I was in profit again. Double. And if you look, where's my 27? My take profit point, where is it? Right inside of the supply zone, right a little bit above where I wanted to take profit. So I held it. And today we got up here. I took my take profits out because I knew it was news, and I was like, you know what? Price might push a little bit higher. Let me see if I can capitalize on that. Price did push. It pushed right here. This was news. This is the news candle. It pushed up, and then we started to consolidate here. When I saw the consolidation here, I just dropped down to a lower time frame to see what was going on, because I was like, all right, now it's going to be time for me to take profit. So I was analyzing where we could go. Price was getting real choppy. And then once it went back to the 27, I believe it was like over in this candle maybe, I ended up just taking both my profits out. I was like, I don't want to hold over the weekend. No swap fees, none of that stuff. And I just took my profit. And I can show y'all right now. Look, boom. Took it right here. Yep. Let's see which candle that was. And I was right. Look, it's the candle. It was actually the black candle. But look, we took profit, man. And now we up again. We are up again on this account. Back to 70, above 70, or 72. And listen, man, it just takes patience. It takes grit. It takes great analysis, man. Like, and risk management. Definitely risk management. Because you see, I lost 2 trades in the beginning of the week. And if you see the trend, I'm starting to see the trend too. So I'm going to start picking my days where I'm trading a little bit more, a little bit better, because I see that in the beginning of the week I start losing, and in the end of the week I always make it back and make some more. So like, I'm analyzing myself right now to figure out when is the best times for me to actually trade, because I'm trying to eliminate the losses that I'm having, even though I'm still ending up positive for the week most of the time. Besides last week, we ended up negative. But since I've had this account, every week I've been positive, and I've noticed I'll always start off bad in the beginning of the week, and then I'll do better towards the end of the week. So I'm trying to eliminate all of the losses that I'm getting. Not all of the losses, because it's inevitable to lose, but I'm trying to eliminate some of the losses that I have during the week, and be more patient in the market, trade my setup, and not trying to be greedy by taking too much or holding too long, and taking what the market gives me, and being humble with what I can get. right now as I have this small account, because I want to build this account up to be a very profitable account for me so I can actually make side money off of it. And yeah, but that's all I have for y'all today, man. If you like videos like this, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.